If you're 40 years old and you have little to nothing saved for retirement, I need you to hear this. You are not behind, you are not broken, and you are absolutely not out of time. But what you do in the next 5 years will determine whether you retire with dignity or whether you work until your body gives out. So stay with me, because what I'm about to tell you could change everything. And I mean everything. Let's be honest about where you are right now. You're 40, maybe 42, maybe 38. And when you look at your retirement account, it's either empty or it's got a number so small it feels like a joke. You've got bills, you've got a mortgage or rent that keeps going up. You've got kids who need things. You've got aging parents who might need help soon. You've got student loans that won't die, credit card debt that keeps creeping back no matter how hard you try, and a car payment that eats into every paycheck. And every time you hear someone talk about retirement, you feel this knot in your stomach. Because you know you're supposed to have something saved by now. You know people your age are supposed to have their stuff together. Financial experts say you should have 3 times your salary saved by 40. 3 times. And you're sitting there thinking, I don't even have 3 months of expenses saved. You see people on social media talking about their investment portfolios, their side hustles, their passive income. And you wonder, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I get ahead? You've worked hard. You've done everything you were supposed to do. You went to school. You got a job. You paid your bills on time. You've been responsible. And somehow, you're still living paycheck to paycheck. And now you're staring down 40, and the idea of retirement feels like a luxury you'll never afford. Maybe you've tried to save before. You put away a little bit, and then the car broke down, or someone got sick, or you lost your job for a few months, and that money you saved? Gone. And you felt like you were right back at square one. And the worst part? You feel ashamed. You feel like you're the only one struggling, like everyone else figured this out except you. You don't talk about it with friends. You don't ask for help. You just carry this weight quietly, hoping somehow it'll get better. If that's you, I want you to know something. You are not alone. Millions of people are in the exact same boat, and this is not your fault. Here's the lie you've been told your entire life, that if you just work hard and play by the rules, you'll be fine. That retirement will just work itself out. That good things come to those who work hard and stay loyal. But the truth is, the system wasn't designed for people like us. It was designed for a world that doesn't exist anymore. A world where you got a job at 22, stayed there for 40 years, and the company took care of you with a pension. You didn't have to think about investing. You didn't have to manage your own retirement. The company did it for you. That world is gone. Pensions are basically extinct. Now, you're on your own, and nobody taught you how to do this. Think about it. Did anyone teach you about compound interest in high school? Did anyone explain the difference between a 401k and an IRA? Did anyone sit you down and say, here's how you build wealth on a normal income? No. They taught you algebra you'd never use and dates you'd forget, but nothing about the one thing you deal with every single day of your adult life: money. So when people say, you should have started saving in your 20s, yeah, maybe. But you were also trying to pay rent with an entry-level salary. You were paying off student loans. You were just trying to survive. You didn't have extra money lying around. And the people who did? They either got lucky, had family money, or they had help you didn't have. Here's the other lie: that you need to have $1 million saved to retire. That number gets thrown around so much that it paralyzes people. Financial gurus love to scare you with it. If you don't have $1 million, you're going to be eating cat food in retirement. And when you're starting at zero at 40, $1 million feels impossible. It feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. So you do nothing, because if you can't hit the target, why even try? But here's what they don't tell you. You don't need $1 million. You need enough. And enough depends on your life, your expenses, your lifestyle. For some people, $300,000 is enough. For others, $500,000 works. And enough is way more achievable than you think. The reason they push that $1 million number is because it sells books, it sells courses, it gets clicks. Fear sells. But the truth is more boring and way more hopeful. Most people can retire on way less than $1 million if they're smart about it. So let's talk about what actually matters. If you're 40 with no retirement savings, you have roughly 25 years until you're 65. That's 25 years of paychecks, 25 years of decisions, 25 years of small moves that compound into something real. And here's the thing about time. It's not about how much you have. It's about what you do with what you have left. Let me show you what I mean with real numbers. Not fantasy numbers, not best-case scenarios, real, achievable numbers. If you start saving $300 a month right now at age 40, and you invested in a simple, low-cost index fund or retirement account that grows at an average of 7% a year, which is actually below the historical average of the stock market, by the time you're 65, you'll have around $190,000. That's not $1 million, but it's real money. That's enough to give you options. That's enough to supplement Social Security. That's enough to retire without relying entirely on a system that might not be there the way we need it to be. Now, if you can bump that up to $500 a month, you're looking at over $315,000. If you can do $700, you're at around $440,000. And if your employer offers any kind of match, let's say they match 3%, that number goes up significantly. And here's the beautiful part. If you get serious about this at 40 and you increase your contributions over time, maybe you start at $300 a month, but in 5 years you're doing $500, and in 10 years you're doing $700, you could easily be looking at $400,000 to $500,000 by retirement. That's life-changing money. But let's say you're thinking, I can't even afford $300 a month right now. Okay, start with $100. Start with $50. Because here's what most people don't understand. It's not about the amount, it's about the habit. Let me explain. If you save $50 a month from 40 to 65, you'll have about $32,000. That's not going to change your life. But here's what will: the discipline you build by doing it. Because once you prove to yourself that you can save $50 a month, you can save $100. And once you can save $100, you can save $200. And that momentum is everything. I'm not saying this to overwhelm you. I'm saying this to show you that the gap between where you are and where you need to be is not as wide as you think. You don't need to make up for 20 lost years in 1 year. You just need to start. And then keep going. Because here's the secret nobody tells you. It's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. The people who win with money are not the ones who make huge moves. They're the ones who make small moves and never stop. So what do you actually do? Let me give you a step-by-step framework that will change your trajectory. These are not theory. These are real, actionable moves you can make this week. Move number 1. Open a retirement account this week. Not next month. This week. If your job offers a 401k, sign up. Even if you can only afford 3% of your paycheck right now, do it. Log into your employee portal. Fill out the form. Choose a target date fund if you don't know what to pick. These funds automatically adjust as you get closer to retirement, so you don't have to be a stock market expert. If your employer matches, that's free money. Let's say you make $50,000 a year and your employer matches 3%. That's $1,500 a year you're leaving on the table if you don't contribute. Over 25 years, with compound growth, that's over $100,000 you're walking away from. Don't do that. If you don't have a 401k, open a Roth IRA. You can do this online in 20 minutes. Vanguard, Fidelity, Schwab, they all have simple options. You can open an account with as little as $50. Start with whatever you can. $50 a month, $100, it doesn't matter. What matters is that the account exists and money is going into it. And here's why the Roth IRA is powerful. You put in money after taxes, but when you retire, you take it out tax-free. So if you put in $150,000 over 25 years and it grows to $300,000, you get to keep all $300,000. The government doesn't touch it. That's huge. Move number 2. Automate it so you never have to think about it. Do not rely on willpower. Do not rely on remembering to transfer money every month. You will forget. Life will get in the way. Set it up so the money comes out of your paycheck or your checking account automatically. This is how people who aren't good with money end up with savings. They remove the decision. They make it automatic. And you know what happens? They forget the money even exists. And 5 years later, they check their account and they're shocked at how much is there. Pay yourself first. That's the rule. Before the bills, before the groceries, before anything else. Even if it's $50, it comes out first. Move number 3. Increase your contribution by 1% every single year. This is the secret weapon. Every time you get a raise, a tax refund, or a bonus, increase your retirement contribution by 1%. Just 1%. You won't even feel it. But in 10 years, you'll look back and realize you went from saving 3% of your paycheck to 13%. You went from $200 a month to $600 a month without even noticing. Let's say you make $50,000 and you're saving 3%, which is $1,500 a year. Next year, you get a 3% raise. Now you make $51,500. Bump your contribution to 4%. You're now saving $2,060 a year, but your paycheck still went up. You're still taking home more money than last year and you're saving more. Everybody wins. Do this every single year. It's the easiest way to build wealth without feeling like you're sacrificing. Move number 4. Cut one thing you don't really care about. I'm not going to tell you to stop buying coffee. I'm not going to tell you to cancel Netflix. But I am going to tell you this. You're spending money on something you don't actually care about. We all are. Maybe it's a subscription you forgot about. Maybe it's eating out 4 times a week when twice would be fine. Maybe it's a car payment on a car that's more than you need. I don't know what it is for you, but you do. Find one thing, just one, and redirect that money to your retirement. If you cut $100 a month of waste and put it into your retirement account, that's $63,000 over 25 years with compound growth. That's real. Move number 5. Ignore the noise and stay the course. The stock market is going to go up. It's going to go down. The news is going to scare you. Your friends are going to tell you about crypto or the next hot stock. Ignore all of it. You are not trying to get rich. You are trying to build a foundation. And the way you do that is boring. You put money into a diversified index fund and you leave it alone. You don't check it every day. You don't panic when it drops. You just keep contributing. Over 25 years, the market has always gone up. Always. There will be crashes. There will be scary years. But if you stay in, you win. The only people who lose are the ones who panic and pull out. Move number 6. Plan for reality, not fantasy. You're not going to retire at 50. You're probably not going to retire at 60. And that's okay. But what you can do is set yourself up so that by 65 or 67, you have options. Maybe you work part-time. Maybe you do something you actually enjoy. Maybe you just have the peace of mind that comes from knowing you're not going to be a burden on your kids. That's the goal. Not a mansion, not a yacht. Just dignity. Just options. Just peace. I know what you're thinking. It's too late. I missed my window. Everyone else is ahead of me. I'll never catch up. But let me tell you something. The people who are ahead of you, a lot of them are faking it. A lot of them are drowning in debt. A lot of them have big salaries and zero savings because they spent it all trying to look successful. You don't know what's happening behind closed doors. You don't know how much credit card debt they're carrying. You don't know that they're one emergency away from financial collapse. So stop measuring your chapter 1 against someone else's highlight reel. And here's the other thing. Even if you do everything right from here on out, it's going to be slow. You're not going to wake up next year with $100,000 saved. You're not going to feel rich in 5 years. This is a 10-year play, a 20-year play, and that's okay. Because slow and steady is how real wealth is built. The people who win with money are not the smartest. They're not the highest earners. They're the ones who started, stayed consistent, and didn't quit when it got hard. They're the ones who made boring decisions over and over again for decades. That's it. That's the secret. There's no hack. There's no shortcut. It's just time and discipline. And I know it's hard to think long-term when you're stressed about this month's rent. I know it's hard to invest in your future when your present is barely holding together. But here's what I want you to understand. Every single month you wait is a month you can't get back. You're 40. You're not starting over. You're starting now. And now is the second best time to plant a tree. The best time was 20 years ago, but you can't change that. All you can change is what you do today. 5 years from now, you're going to be 45. That's happening whether you save money or not. The only question is, are you going to be 45 with $30,000 in retirement or 45 with nothing? 10 years from now, you're going to be 50. Are you going to be 50 with $80,000 saved or 50 still wishing you had started? The clock is ticking either way. You might as well make it count. And let me tell you something else. You don't need to be perfect. You're going to have months where you can't contribute. You're going to have emergencies. You're going to have setbacks. That's life. But as long as you keep coming back, as long as you don't give up, you're going to be okay. This is not about perfection. This is about progress. And progress is enough. So here's what I want you to do today. Not tomorrow, not next week. Today. Open that account. Set up that automatic transfer. Even if it's $50, even if it feels pointless, even if it feels like a drop in the ocean, do it anyway. Because in 5 years, you'll be 45, and you'll either be 5 years closer to financial security, or you'll be 5 years older with the same regrets. In 10 years, you'll be 50, and you'll either look back at today as the day everything changed, or you'll still be wishing you had started. Your 65-year-old self is watching you right now, and they're begging you to start. They're begging you to take this seriously. They're begging you to give them a chance at a life that doesn't involve working until they physically can't anymore. You're not too late. You're not broken. You're not out of time. You're exactly where you need to be to make the next 25 years count. The only question is, are you going to do it? Let's get to work.